All right, y'all. So,
hey,
it's me.
It's also me.
Yeah.
Paul and Sonia here. This is going to be a unique episode. We've recorded an awesome conversation that we had with somebody who's been within the SHT community for a while.
Yeah.
His name is Gene.
Yeah, Gene the Machine.
Gene the Machine.
This is what we call a success story episode, and Gene, you know, like he's been doing CrossFit for a little bit with us, and then eventually came. I think he came to us through a seminar, and ever since then just took off with the food, and it's, you know, his body has changed. He's always had a great attitude, but like just his mentality, his happiness level, like all that kind of stuff, everything that we're looking for to see change through something like this changed and shifted. And he'll come in every now and then and just give us an update, and he reads all of our emails.
That's
like
awesome.
It was so cool. Like when he came in for this. This little discussion, he brought in a folder of all these emails and things that he printed out, and I was like, "What is that?" And he's like, "I just wanted to be prepared."
That's awesome.
Like what
That's
y'all
Gene.
put out, what y'all
Yeah.
have put out has changed my life. And
Aww.
so anyway, what spurred this was he had come in and said that his blood work was so incredible. His doctor was like, "What the heck are you doing? Like,
That's awesome.
keep doing it." But he's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And so I was like, "Man, can we get this on audio and just like let people get some benefit out of it and be inspired?" And he's like, "Absolutely." So came in with this folder and all these printouts, and we had a really good discussion. It was really fun.
That's
I love
amazing.
Gene. Yeah.
And you all are going to get to hear that discussion
Yeah.
right now.
Here we go.
Welcome to the SHT podcast. This podcast is created by superhumans, for superhumans, and anyone else who wants to look, feel, and perform like a freaking badass. Your holistic health journey starts here. Rediscover how we...
Yeah!
Paul, sit your ass down.
I hope you don't mind if I review some notes, though.
Oh, heck no, man. I honestly just want to hear, because you're like a walking testimony. Sometimes, I kind of forget to remember how you started, like when you came into all this, and you always been kind of relatively lean, but like now we see you, and especially when you have your shirt off or something, and you just look like a superhero. And then it makes me so happy to hear you come in and say, like you read a newsletter and it inspires you, or like you said the other day, you went in and had a doctor's visit and you had some blood work, and he's like, "What the heck are you doing?" And I'm just like, that's what we want for people, like it just really makes me happy to hear that stuff. So,
I tell you, you are a total inspiration.
You are too, man.
Because the things, the positiveness that you generate and the encouragement is just phenomenal, and it just I absorb it, I take it in, and I try to emulate it the best I can, and I just try to go from there, whether it's from food or just positive thinking. I just love it.
Yeah, I think you do. I see it here. What's your day like at work? Do you experience a lot of negativity and seems like you're a pretty happy guy?
No, work is not negative. It's chaotic.
Yeah.
When you work in an organization, it's about 300 people, and I'm responsible for 100 of them. And it's not just the people, but it's the work in general.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the work, and I love the people, and I'm trying to make them better. That's my job, is to make these 100 people enjoy their work and make their life better. And so the whole idea is that, we try to instill is that, you show up to work in the morning, but we want you to go home in a better position than you were this morning.
That's great.
And
Does that come from you, or is that something from above you?
It's what I instill, but I think it's a general message that we try to give. Mm-hmm. We really try to do a betterment of our workforce, because they're highly skilled, they're highly trained, and we want to keep them.
Yeah.
We want to make the workforce a good place to work at.
Yeah, because I'm sure you invest money in them, time.
We invest so much time, and nowadays, especially in our company, is that we can't get rid of employees. And so you don't want to have disgruntled employees.
Mm-hmm.
You want them to have a positive attitude. As getting back, when you have positive thoughts and a positive attitude, everything's better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because your work's going to be the same. Your situations are going to be the same.
It's always the same, yeah.
But your attitude makes or breaks, like, how your actual, reality in the moment's going to be.
Yeah, and the other thing is safety is a big issue where I work at. And we had an employee, a young guy that just started. He's from Louisiana. He's from a small town. Well, he comes to Vegas.
We're in Louisiana. I was in Louisiana.
I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah. The problem is he's having too much fun in Vegas.
Oh, that sucks.
He's out having a good time. He's staying out late. He's partying. Well, he shows up to work. He's tired. He's sleeping on the job. He's missing appointments. Well, we bring him in and we sit down. And he says, "Look, we understand you're young. You want to do these things, but from a safety standpoint, we have to be concerned about your safety, but also, are you hindering the safety of other people?" And so we just try to work with him to say, we understand you want to go out and have a good time. There's nothing wrong with it, but you need to come to work rested, mind focused, and then go out and have a good time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You can't be doing it every day.
Yep. Absolutely.
No, not when you're 20. Well, maybe when you're 20, but not anymore. I can't anymore.
Yeah, I can't either. But it feels so good not to be doing that anymore, too.
Yeah.
Like I've had my days of that, and I just would you're saying that right now, and I'm thinking about how I feel in this moment, and I wouldn't trade this for anything. It feels so good to feel so good. Most days. I
would not want to go back and redo those. I mean, because. Like everybody says, well, if I could go back and do this. I said, I would go back and I would do everything I did, and I would do it faster, harder than I did before. Mm-hmm. And I would make the same mistakes. And but I enjoy my life now.
Yeah.
My health is great.
Mm-hmm.
My conditioning is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The people around me, are just so positive most of the time. Mm-hmm. Like I said, coming here to the Combine, being with you guys every morning, is just, it starts my day out with a smile. Mm-hmm. I go after workout, I sit down, I have a cup of coffee, and it's my moment to meditate. One of the big things that you try to instill is to kind of slow down, get your mind, be mindful of and it's a time where I can just relax and think. Mm-hmm. It's not that I'm trying to organize everything, it's just calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
And just enjoy the moment, enjoy the day, and tell myself, live in the moment. That's the big thing that I try to do. And it's not easy, because it's easy to get away from that.
Yeah, well, that's good that you're focused on that in the morning, because in the morning that kind of sets the tone for the day.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because when I go to work, it's like, I guess it's like you're like catching a wave in the ocean. It just takes you, and you have. I won't say that you don't have no control. You have little control, and so before you know it, it's the end of the day, and so. Not having, if I don't come to work out, which is very rarely, I'm not ready for the day. I'm not ready for that wave. It's like, okay, I've got myself, had a great workout, I feel great, I've had a cup of coffee, I got my mindset, now I'm ready to deal with whatever comes my way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how long have you been with us? You've been coming here for how long?
3 years.
3 years? Do you remember what it was like before starting CrossFit and then before learning about the nutrition piece? Did you feel different? Was life different?
Yes. So let's back up for about 5 years. Mm-hmm. I had a serious heart condition called atrial fib. And it actually was 5 years almost to this moment that I went and I had an operation that fixed it. Because I had it for like 10 years. I had some serious health issues during my 50s and fixed them. And so Once that was fixed, my doctor said, hey, the only thing, he says, you don't need to come back here. This is the only thing that you have to worry about is your high blood pressure. And I was overweight. I was weighing like 230. And, I was going from a size 38 to a size 40 waist. And
so at 230, what are you now?
I am at less than 180.
Wow, holy moly, that's crazy.
And
that's
even
5 years ago?
Yeah, and then when I went through your program, I guess got down as low as 174.
Yeah.
And so after that, I started to, what did it take to get off the couch and start working out? Mm-hmm. And I've always worked out, but I got away from it for a lot of reasons. Mm-hmm. It was just, maybe it was the time. I was ready to go and start working out. So I started working out at home, walking, everything was in a slow, watching what I eat.
Slow progression.
Yeah. And so before I came to here, I had lost 30 pounds. I was down to like around 200, which is where I wasn't trying to get to any specific weight. I wanted to get around 200 because that's where I had normally been when I was very, very healthy. Mm. And so when I came here, I thought I was in shape. And the first day we did, what was the exercise?
That's funny. It's like everybody remembers their first day. Yeah. I remember mine.
Yeah, and it was a horrible exercise. It was a horrible workout. It was, I was going to say it was squats, but it wasn't. Anyway.
It'll come back. Yeah,
it'll come back in. My mind comes and goes. But anyway, I had a horrible day. It just destroyed me. And I said, oh, man, what did I get myself into? And
was that your thought process afterwards? Was it not like I'm excited to come back? It's like, oh,
No, wasn't that. I wasn't excited. I just realized I thought I was in shape. Mm-hmm. And then I realized maybe I wasn't in as good a shape as I thought I was. Mm-hmm. And thrusters, that's what it was. It was a serious workout of thrusters and just, never liked thrusters. Yeah. Still don't like thrusters, but I work at them.
Yeah.
So I always like it as a community to work with a group. I get more out of it by being around people that are doing the same thing. I lost a lot of weight by myself, working at home. I got a small gym. I've got a nice weight machine and treadmill, and I could stay home and do that every morning before I went to work. Mm-hmm. But it's being with the same group, laughing, joking, working out.
Suffering together.
Exactly. Exactly, I love it at the end of the class when everybody is laid on the floor and can't get up.
That's my favorite part, too.
It really is.
Yeah. So before, though, so you're overweight and you had some health issues. Do you remember, like, your happiness level being a little bit different? Or positivity? Because that's the first thing you opened up with when you came in here. Was like, how positive you try to be. Do you remember your moods and emotions being a little bit different?
At that time, I was unhappy. In the work that I was doing, I was getting chastised because I was traveling a lot.
Same place?
I was going to Northern California, and I was spent like 50 weeks out of a year going up there. And I was getting beat up for work. Like, why are you going up there every week? And I wasn't getting my projects done. I was having a terrible time. Mentally, I was unhappy. Mm-hmm. I wanted to get promoted, and I wasn't going to get any promotions, and I was getting close to the end of my career, and I'm like, Gene, you're just pushing too hard. Anytime I push too hard, it just seems like everything kind of like gets farther away. Mm-hmm. And so I was unhappy, really unhappy.
I love that. I love that you just said that.
And so one day I just sat down and basically I just said, to heck with it. Why don't you start doing things that make you happy? Start there. So that's what I did. I had the ability to quit working up in Northern California, and I said, I'm going to take my work and go to New Mexico. I'm going to change what I do. I'm not getting promoted. I might as well go work on projects that I like to do. So that's what I did. Soon as I did that, my whole mentality changed. And that's when I started to work out a little more. I can't say that I ran to the gym and spent hours there. It was a slow progress. It was like every day, all right, get up. And I was on travel, so I started working out here, doing a little bit, and it was a slow process. But my mind, as soon as I made that decision to say, let's be happy, quit doing the things that make you unhappy, and that's very difficult.
Yeah, because you think you need to do them because you're trying to advance your career, and
you still have to go do the work, but you have to. And as soon as that, I realized that people were smiling at me a little more, and it's because I was happy.
That's right.
You can't make other people happy if you're not happy.
Yeah. But I love that you said, you notice every time you push, things get further away, and that's something I've definitely noticed over the past 5 years. And I try to teach it to people, and I try to remind myself of it because sometimes I get caught up, But it's like the more that things seem, so tense and chaotic and anxiety provoking and something and resistant, then sometimes that's an indication you need to give it some space, back off. And anytime you can focus on things that make you healthier and happier, everything in your life is going to get better.
Everything has I won't say a time, but has a rhythm to it. And you have to get into the rhythm. Anytime that you make it is to be forceful. People can see the tension in you, and it just doesn't go well. Yeah,
and it's not that there's not times that we don't work our asses off.
Oh, we work our asses off every moment.
There's a difference from forcing things and kind of maybe going with the flow or letting things happen a little bit more naturally, and like you said, bringing positivity and happiness into it, even though you can still be positive and happy in doing a shitload of work. So,
exactly. And the other thing is that in our life now is that the worst part is that texting. You text somebody.
Oh yeah, just notifications in general.
You think that as soon as you text somebody, they got their phone. You expect an immediate response. You have no idea what the other person is doing. But in your mind, you say, well, I know he's got his phone. Why isn't he texting me? So you're always expecting an immediate response. And it's hard to get away from it. Say, look, you have to get space. Like you said, you have to have space. You have to have, flow. Yeah.
Cool. I love that. How did you, so you've been doing CrossFit with us for about 3 years.
3 years.
When did you get introduced into the food stuff? I can't remember. Did you go through an SHT or did you do some seminars or?
I went through the SHT, but before that, I started to do a little bit of reading on food. There again, as losing weight, you start to look at counting calories. I wasn't counting calories, but one of the things that I found when I was working is that I'd go out and have a lunch. I'd have a big lunch, and then I would be really sluggish in the afternoon. I mean, and so I started to say, look, quit eating like breads and carbohydrate, big breads and stuff, because I found that really weighed me down in the afternoon. So I started to, just mindfully stop doing that. And then as I went through the SHT program of yours, I started to get a better understanding of the cycle of how you should eat.
When to do the carbs and stuff like that.
Exactly, is so that, work with your body, not against your body. And so, I switched over, I started to slowly switch.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. I started to slowly switch to eating, fats and proteins in the morning, and I always love vegetables, eat, more vegetables in the middle of the day and eat a little bit of carbs at night. And so I am very mindful of doing that,
And then how long did it take for you to notice like changes? Because I remember coming across, bumping into a few times and you're like, dude, I feel great.
And it just seemed like it was just, every day was better. It wasn't like all of a sudden it was a big change. I could just, as you do it, over time you just start to realize that you're over here and you're not where you used to be. And you kind of like, well, how did I get here? It's the things that you did every day, the little things. Because, the journey's like 1,000 footsteps. You just don't realize that you're all the way to the right when you were at the left. And I think going through your program, being here every day, reading the things that you generate, it always puts me in a mindful thought to think about those and try to do that. So I'm always trying to be, and I travel a lot and I eat out a lot. I don't eat at fast foods. I never have. And so when I go to a restaurant, I'm always mindful of what I'm going to eat.
Yeah, always try to do the right thing.
I try to do the right
what
thing.
They have available and all
Yeah.
that.
I don't do the right thing every day. Don't get me wrong. But I do definitely try.
Most of the time, yeah. What else? Like, what did you feel like the information was like when you went through the program? Was it easy to understand? Was it too much? Was it, like...
It was...
Sometimes we...
Excuse me.
Sometimes it's very different from what people are used to, so, it's like...
The word is just as you said, it was different. It was... The things that you were teaching us is not what you see in the daily information that is given out about how you should eat and stuff, you shouldn't be eating, meats, you shouldn't be eating fats, you should be eating grains. I was very resistant of that. Even though I had kind of stopped eating breads and stuff for the most part. I still love bread, don't get me wrong. But I just don't eat sandwiches every day. So I had to do a little more research, I'm an engineer by trade, and so I always like to have some facts and figures and stuff. So I read books like Wheat Belly.
Yeah, that's one we recommend.
And then I can't remember the guy that has, what's his name? I can't remember it. But anyway, it's a book that talks about this kind of process. And once I started to understand that there is a philosophy, and sure, it may not be the mainstream, I could understand it better.
Yeah.
And it resonates with me because I like to eat meats. I like to eat fats. And so it just kind of like fell in line with the things that I like to do.
Yeah. Well, and then when you did it and you experienced the results, that's all the proof you need.
In
addition to the learning, that's why we do recommend people read some books and we have blog posts and videos and things, but the experiential knowledge, I think, seals the deal.
It does. You have to, it's one thing to read it and think about it, but how do you get it to where you believe it? And that's always where you have to try. To me, you have to try it. Yeah. And it takes time.
Yep, for sure. So what are the big changes that you've noticed and experienced up to this point? I remember you said that you had a really good doctor's visit recently, and
in the past, I always go and check. There again, you always worry about if you're eating a lot of foods and fats, you always worry about cholesterol and all of this. The warnings that they give you. And so I go, well, let's go and check your body. And when you see that maybe your numbers weren't quite right, really either skewed one way or the other, usually in the wrong direction, when you start to see them fall in line, you start to see that your body is working the way it's supposed to. Before I started all this, you always hate to talk about bowel movements. I always had a hard time.
About poop all the time.
I know.
My clients, yeah.
That, it wasn't on a regular basis, I could go for periods of times and it did, but now it's on a regular basis. And
so important.
And it's so good. And so you see that your body is working properly. And that, I think, is a good sign.
Yep.
It's the weirdest thing. You hate to talk about those things, but it's so important.
No, it's such a good indicator for health. It really is. Having good digestion in general.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. And then, but blood work, all the results come back better. They keep falling in line.
All my blood work for the last, ever since I really got into CrossFit and been even more mindful of the way I eat, everything has been perfect for especially the last 3 years.
Cool.
And my blood pressure is so normal.
Yeah, nice.
I'm not on any
medications?
No medications
nice.
whatsoever.
That's so great, man.
And when you go in and you tell somebody that you're my age and you're not on any medications and they take your blood pressure, they can't believe it.
Yeah, that's so great, man. Yep, I was there with you too, man, years ago, and It's amazing what, just some good natural intense movement combined with real food can do. I mean,
Exactly.
it changes you on all levels. I mean, your health markers definitely improve, but like you're saying, positivity, emotional stability, the happiness, and and then you combine that with this experience that we have here at the CrossFit Combine. The friendships, the connections, the misery together. Like it's such a winning combination.
They always say is, it takes a community or what to really be happy. And I agree. Being with the right group of people. I mean, I go to lunch every once in a while with some people, and they go, "Man, you don't enjoy your food." I go, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I enjoy my food." "Well, you don't do this, you don't do that." I says, "Look, the food I eat, I enjoy. Grant you, I'm not eating French fries every day. I'm not eating hamburgers, and it's not that I don't like them, and I eat them once in a while, but I don't need to eat them, and so I'm mindful, and I enjoy the food that I eat."
And you enjoy the way it makes you feel.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the plus side too.
Yeah. So, would you say that what you've learned with the SHT, like, is like, how livable is it? Like, for someone that was like, thinking about embarking, because we have a huge group kicking off this weekend. We got did you know we got a progression kicking off on Saturday? We got 130 people registered for it.
Wow, that's a lot.
So excited. So is it, like, would you say that it's something that's livable?
I think so.
Yeah.
There again is that you have, since it's such a big change, it's hard to make, these huge jumps. But I think as you work at it and you see the positive effects, it makes it easier. There again, I love the foods I eat. I don't have a problem, in what I eat, when I eat, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I really do. So it's just getting your mind in that direction.
Yeah, getting over that initial hump.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's like anytime you want to make a course correction in your life, it's like a big battleship. They don't change quickly. You might want to say, "Oh, I want to go right." Well, your body's still going left. Mm-hmm. And it takes a long time before you start to get it going over here and keep it over here.
Yeah, I love that analogy. That's great. What advice would you give someone that was like embarking on something like this? If you had a chance to speak, let's say I got you up on stage tomorrow and I just said, "Hey, what's some advice you can give these brand new people embarking on their first week,
I would say is be easy on yourself.
Yes.
Don't be hard.
Yes.
Because you're your worst critic, and you say, "Man," I think you mentioned this the other day, is, results take time, and don't be expecting miracles like to happen in a week just because you stop doing this, stop doing that for a couple of days. Mm-hmm. Your body takes a while to go. So I would say is be easy on yourself and don't beat yourself up just because, I ate a cookie today and I shouldn't have, and stuff like that,
Yep.
Enjoy what you eat. Just be mindful as you don't, you need to work at it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think that's the big thing, is don't beat yourself up over stuff.
Yep. No, I love it. And it's great. It's great getting to know you more and more, and looking forward to more and more days of working out with you, and that we're always here to support you in any way we can. If you have any questions or just need some motivation. I love that you pay attention to our newsletter and our videos and stuff. I see you got a folder with some things in here.
Yeah, because I don't like to talk just off the top of my head, because there again, I'll go back and I go, "Oh, I should have said this, or I should have said this differently."
Yeah, what you got
so
here?
I try to. I won't say a New Year's resolutions, but one of the things I wanted to strive this year for me is for improvement is to be more mindful of what I do. So think about what you're going to say first, and hopefully you don't stick both your feet in your mouth. Mm-hmm. And that it helps in that respect. So that's why I have this folder, and I have some of the things that you've sent me, so that would remind myself. And I have this little piece of paper. You can see it's a piece of yellow paper, and it says, gratitude session, silence for 5 minutes, envision statement of supporting task, and if I could read it, because I wrote it, it says, what do you want to get out of your day? What do you want to get out of your life? And then you make a statement. I make a statement. You are getting better every day. Make other people better. Give a positive attitude. Be grateful. And so I have this sitting in front of my monitor, and I try to read it every day.
I love it.
Just to keep me thinking about that,
I love it.
And this comes from the things that you instill in us.
Yeah. Dude, so happy for you. And I'm proud of you.
Hey, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate you letting me do this.
Yep.
I get so much out of this.
Yep.
I really do.
Yep. All right.
All right?
Good times, man.
All righty.
What's going on the rest of the day?
Oh, I have to go and do this crazy 5-hour...
All right. So, I'm going to catch a few things here before I shut this off. Dude, Gene, man, seemed like he was tearing up right in the beginning and made me tear up, Such an amazing example of what's possible at any age. And I do remember him coming in and just, he just look. You see these guys on a regular basis, on a daily basis, and you forget where they started. And he just looks so unbelievably amazing, and he's so positive and happy and supportive and vibrant. And man, I'm telling you what, I almost teared up there at the end too, because he has this whole folder of all these posts and blog articles and things that we've sent out, and he's got his own little notes in the sidebar, and then he even covered that little sheet that he put together based on one of the post that we sent out about our priming and practice process, gratitude, then meditate, then envision. And it just, sometimes, we're all putting this information out there and we don't know who's impacting or how well it's impacting people. And it's great to know and understand and see that sometimes you're having an impact, but you don't know it, and just made me really happy to see, all that progress and just see that he's staying up with it all. So anyway, that's all we got. That was great. Gene the Machine.
Thank you guys for listening.
Yeah, so remember, the purpose of this podcast is to support our SHT community and to be in your ear as a go-to resource for all things SHT.
If any of you have fallen off, if you need support, honestly, just come back and listen to some of these episodes. Get re-inspired, get re-motivated, and get re-engaged. If you're new to us, the best way to get started is by joining our newsletter at sht4life.com.
That's SHT, the number 4, life.com. And you can also find us on Facebook at Superhuman Transformation, and then on Instagram, Superhuman Transformation, which you're doing an amazing job with.
Thank you.
And then also Twitter, it's SHT, the number 4, life. I think that's all we got.
See ya.